So in this question we talked about that Parliament can create or abolish legislative council for a state, that is state legislative council, by a simple majority, by a simple majority, by the means of an ordinary legislation, ordinary legislation, legislation. So there is no need to do a constitutional amendment through under Article 368, constitutional amendment under Article 368 to create a state legislative council. A state legislative council can be created just by the means of an ordinary legislation through a simple majority in the parliament. But a state legislative council can be created on the request of the state concerned. Request of state concerned. So when a state that does not have a state legislative council requests parliament to create a legislative council, then the parliament by an ordinary legislation through a simple majority can create a state legislative council. So this was all about state legislative council, and it does not require a constitutional amendment under Article 360. Now let's come to the next question. The next question is, Panchayati Raj was first introduced in October 1959 in which state? Options are Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Karnataka. The correct answer to this question is Rajasthan. So the correct answer to this question is Rajasthan. Now let's talk about what is Panchayati Raj and how it can be. So now let's talk about how the Panchayati Raj is constituted and what are different provisions regarding Panchayati Raj in the Constitution of India. First, as we know that the Constitution of India under Article, so Constitution in DPSP provides that in DPSP Directive Principles of State Policy, in Article 40 provides the constitution or organization of village panchayats. So though the constitution originally also talked about the panchayats, but it talked about only village panchayats under Article 40, and that too in DPSP. Despite the fact that we know that DPSPs are not enforceable, they can be enforced on the whims of and will of the government of India. So they are not enforceable. But the first state to organize village panchayats was Rajasthan. So Rajasthan in October 1959 organized village panchayats as a move toward democratic decentralization. We know that Indian polity is a federal polity, and in Indian polity we have central government at the union level, we have state governments at the provincial level. So as a move to further decentralize the polity, as a move to local government or further democratic decentralization, the Rajasthan government under Article 40, that is the DPSP of the Indian Constitution, constituted or organized village panchayats. So this was a move to further democratic decentralization of power, democratic decentralization and local autonomous, to give autonomy to local government, self-government. So this was a move to do that. Now let's talk about some other reforms in Panchayati Raj. So some other reforms are that we know that though Constitution of India under Article 40 talked about village panchayats, village organization of village panchayats as an independent local self government bodies, but DPSP being not enforceable, the government did not take keen or took a keen interest to organize village panchayats in all the other states, or states rather state state government did not take initiative to uh, establish village panchayats in all the other state government did not take initiative to organize village panchayat. So government in to give a constitutional status and give a further constitutional status to the village panchayat, and also further democratic democratic decentralization centralization and local to provide for local self government to villages as well as cities. Government tried to integrate the villages and cities into directly participate in the governance process, to provide for an opportunity to villages and cities to participate directly into the government governance process. Government of India did some reforms, and the reforms were first 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act in 1992 was done, that provided for Panchayati Raj institutions. So two type of Panchayati Raj institutions were provided by these two, 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment Act 1992. So first it provided for Panchayati Raj institutions. So by the way of a constitutional amendment, Panchayati Raj institutions, Panchayati Raj was established in India. Panchayati Raj was established in India, and there are two types of Panchayati Raj institutions. First, Gramin Panchayati Raj, and second, Shahri Panchayati Raj or Urban Panchayati Raj. Rural and urban. Rural local bodies and urban local bodies that are called. So, Government of India, to provide for more democratic decentralization, did constitutional amendments, and these 73rd. So, to provide for Panchayati Raj, to establish Panchayati Raj in India, government did two constitutional amendments, 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act and 74th Constitutional Amendment Act. Both of these were done in 1992, and they provided for Panchayati Raj in India. They established Panchayati Raj in India as a constitutional body. First, Shahri Panchayati, Shahri or Urban Panchayati Raj. So, Shahri or Urban Panchayati Raj. Second, village or rural Panchayati Raj. Village or rural Panchayati Raj. पंचायती राज, शहरी पंचायती राज इंस्टीट्यूशंस और अर्बन पंचायती राज इज कॉल्ड अर्बन लोकल बॉडीज, अर्बन लोकल bodies. These are called urban panchayati raj, urban panchayati raj institutions. There are three type of panchayati raj institutions that have been provided in the by the act of by the 74th Constitutional Amendment Act. First, municipal councils, then municipal corporations for big cities. These are for small cities. These are for big cities. So municipal corporations are for big cities. Then there are metropolitan cities. Metropolitan. These metropolitan are not a single municipal corporation. These are a combination of municipal corporation, different municipal corporations or municipal councils. So, and they make up metropolitan cities, mega cities, are also called mega cities. So these metropolitan cities are mega cities. They are also part of urban panchayati raj institutions, urban PRIs, so panchayati raj institution. So these are the three type of urban panchayati raj institutions that can be provided to cities. Municipal councils have directly elected president, that is called chairman, directly elected head, that is chairman of municipal council, directly elected head. So head is also directly elected, that is the president of the municipal council is also directly elected, and councillors, that is the ward members, are also directly elected. So the municipal councils are divided into or delimited into various wards, and these wards have their representative, directly elected representatives. Each ward has directly elected representative, that is called councillors or ward members. Then municipal corporations, they have indirectly elected a mayor. So mayor is not directly elected, it is indirectly elected, and one deputy mayor as head, deputy mayor, and then there are corporators or members, they are directly elected. So these two people, mayors and deputy mayors, are indirectly elected, but corporators or ward members or councillors are directly elected. And these directly elected corporators, they elect from among themselves, they elect one mayor and one deputy mayor, and who head the municipal corporation. So in municipal corporation, mayors or deputy mayors are not directly elected. Then in metropolitan cities, these are a combination of municipal councils and municipal corporations. So nothing new, they also have a mayor. They have many mayors, and these are big cities that are a combination of many municipal corporations. Apart from these municipal councils and municipal corporations, state governments have been given under these are constitutional bodies, but under state legislation there are town area committees also. These are not cities and these are not villages, these are a transitional area. So town area committees are for transitional area that have migrated from, that have transformed themselves from a village, but they are in between the village and cities. They are not full-fledged city also, they are not full-fledged village also. Even how a village is defined, that where major activity is agriculture, and the city is defined where major activities, economic activities are